Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Childcare Director's Chair. I would like to say that what you do is incredible, so let me be the first to say thank you. Today's episode, we are going to talk about the top industry trends in childcare for 2023, because I feel like it's really important as you build your program to understand what is coming down the pipe and be prepared. So, childcare is a ever-evolving industry. We are constantly adapting to meet the needs of both parents and children. So as we look ahead in 2023 and we start heading towards 2024, there are several key trends that are expected to shape the future of childcare. So we'll explore at least 6 of the industry trends that are in place right now and predicted to dominate the childcare landscape in the next coming years. So first is technology integration. In 2023, technology will play a significant role in childcare facilities, and it continues to do so. And I don't see that is changing anytime soon. For those of you who run after-school programs, you certainly are very aware of this, as at any given moment, the public school decides they're not opening today for whatever reason, and they instantly flip over to DL days. And for those of you who know, it's very hard to know when you need to be staffed for that after school program because, you might get, a 5-minute notice. So, that we have seen that with the change of all the children having Chromebooks with them 24/7 and being able to switch over to virtual instantly. Also, programs are expected to have advanced security systems to smart toys to interactive learning tools. Technology integration will enhance the overall experience for both children and parents. As childcare centers will leverage technology to streamline administrative tasks, improve communication with parents, and provide innovative learning opportunities for children. And many childcare centers at this point have camera systems in them. And the more advanced programs are starting to have closed circuit TV where families are able to watch their children during the day on their computer in your program. Also, the daily sheets that used to be done in paper where a parent would get at the end of the day are happening in live time, which then creates additional, I don't want to say challenges, but additional questions and concerns that come up throughout the day that you didn't used to have to contend with because you would give the slip to the parent at the end of the day. They would look it over, and then if they had any questions, they would ask right then. But now with communication portals, parents are asking throughout the day constantly, how's Johnny doing? I don't want to say they use it like a social media tool, but some families really do. And they'll message the teacher 2-3 times throughout the day. Not that that's bad, of course. Communication is important, but it is something that is new that childcare teachers and administrators need to get used to. Also, there is a major focus on mental health and emotional well-being. Recognizing the importance of mental health and emotional well-being, childcare providers will prioritize creating nurturing and supportive environments for children. Now, I hate to bring this up, but I have to. Can you think of a time when you were in school where you had to worry about being shot? It's a very uncomfortable situation to talk about. But 20 years ago, I never in my dreams would have thought about having to go to work and wondering, will that be the last time I see my family? Children are also under those same stresses. They see it on the news daily. They're worried about their parents. They're worried about their classmates. They're worried about their teachers. There's a lot going on. Also, with the pandemic, there was a lot of time where people were not socially engaged with each other, and that also created some emotional stress. We have children who may be entering childcare for the first time. They had stayed home. Maybe they're pandemic babies. They didn't have a lot of socialization. Also, think about, we all wore masks for such a long time that infants who grew up during that period were not getting those social cues like a smile and being able to see the expressions on your face. And so to think that that did not impact their growth or development in some way would be silly, because we do know better. We know that babies take those cues from the adults who take care of them. And so we may be seeing that now with changes in behaviors in classrooms. So we can expect to see an increased emphasis on activities that promote mindfulness, resiliency, and emotional intelligence. Childcare centers will implement strategies to support children's mental health, such as introducing meditation and relaxation techniques, as well as providing access to qualified mental health professionals. And not just for your children, but for your parents and also your staff members. One of the things that we did, we have a collaborative partnership with a local spa that happens to share space in our building down on the lower level of one of our centers. And she put in, very brilliantly, I might add, a room called the Zen Den. And it's not a very big room, but it's very cozy and comfortable. It's got a light dimmer where you can adjust the light, where it can be really bright if you want to relax, sit in a beanbag and read a book, or you can really dim the lights and listen to some relaxation music, some ocean music, the waves. She's basically got a sound machine in there that has very, very many variations of what is relaxing to you. There is a water cooler in there. There is a tea maker. And so staff are able to go in for anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour to mentally recharge, to reconnect with themselves. So, anything that you can do to provide a space for your staff to be able to take a wellness break throughout the day, I say go for it. Another trend that, is happening throughout the world, not just in childcare, but the conversation about inclusive and diverse environments. And in the upcoming years, the childcare industry will continue to prioritize diversity and inclusion. Childcare centers will strive to create an inclusive environment that celebrates and respects different cultures, abilities, backgrounds, and this trend will be reflective in curriculum, staff training, and our overall approach to childcare. So by fostering an inclusive atmosphere, children will learn to appreciate diversity from a very early age, promoting acceptance and understanding. And so I know that this also can be controversial, and many of the things that I'm talking about in today's episode are a little heavier than my normal topics. I do think we need to think about them, and how are we including these in our program? Are they current practices or are they really outdated? We need to talk about the flexible care options. With the changing dynamics of the modern workforce, flexibility in childcare options will become increasingly important. And in 2023, childcare providers will be offering more flexible care arrangements, including extended hours, part-time options, drop-in services. And this trend aims to accommodate the needs of parents who work irregular hours or have unpredicted schedules, ensuring that quality childcare remains accessible and convenient. Even though families I have found are working from home, they are still sending their children to childcare centers for many reasons. One is they're looking for the social aspect for their child. Two, I think parents find it very difficult to safely monitor and engage and interact with their children while they're on Zoom calls for, 5 out of the 8 hours of their workday. So, having that flexibility for families. Also, one of the things I want to bring up is I've had some moms who had young children, and they get a little bit of grief from their family and friends about bringing their children to childcare, especially if they work part-time from home or from home. I'm going to say that as childcare providers, we really need to help support that family in their decision, and do the best that we can, and certainly not be judgmental and have any side comments, because I have heard people make comments of like, oh, she's not even working today, she's going to the beach. Well, first of all, I believe that moms also deserve to have, a work-life balance, and they also deserve to have a mental break. And they need that to be great moms because, again, we all know we can't pour from an empty cup. So leave all of that judgment to the side. We are here to help serve families and children. Sustainability and eco-friendly practices. As the world becomes more environmentally conscious, the childcare industry will also embrace sustainability and eco-friendly practices. Childcare centers will prioritize reducing our carbon footprint by implementing energy-efficient systems, promoting recycling and waste reduction, incorporating nature-based learning experiences for children, and children will be encouraged to develop a love for nature and to learn about the importance of environmental stewardship from an early age. One thing that they're doing over at my preschool program, and many centers do this, it's not, groundbreaking, but was planting a garden. And they not only planted some beautiful flowers that smelt lovely and brought bees and insects and bunnies, we had lots of bunnies, to our playground space, but they also planted fruits and vegetables. And they tended these from seeds, and they continued to take care of them. And the children tried tomatoes and green beans right from the garden that they planted from the seeds. So, different things like that are really where you're going to see child cares lean into. And then personalized learning. Recognizing that each child is unique, personalized learning approaches will gain traction in the childcare industry. Childcare centers will focus more on tailored educational experiences to meet the individual needs and interests of each child. I want to rewind that. Interests of the children is so important to make sure that when you're planning your curriculum, whatever your philosophy is, whether it's play-based, whether it's Montessori, whether it's Reggio, it really should be based on the interests of the children. And this trend will involve using assessment tools to identify strengths and areas of improvement, as well as designing personalized learning plans that cater to each child's specific learning styles and pace. The other thing I want to say is not just your children, but think about your staff. And when you sit down with them and do their individual professional development plan, and you say, okay, I want you to take these 5 webinars, is that really how that teacher learns best? So maybe it is for some teachers, and other teachers may learn best in a cohort model, through a peer coaching model, through a book, a workbook. Like there's many different ways. So really think about how that person learns. And as the leader of your program, it's so important that you are in tune with that. So I'm going to wrap it up with the childcare industry is setting to go through some significant transformations, whether it's technology, our focus on mental health and emotional well-being, which we do talk a lot about that on our podcast, inclusion and diversity, flexible care options, sustainability, and personalized learning for your students and your team members. Make sure you stay up to date on the industry trends as they always are changing and evolving. And for you to be the best leader, you need to know what those are. For you to have the best program, you need to be able to see ahead. You need to have vision. You need to be a visionary leader. So with that, I say good night. I hope you had a wonderful day at your program. This has been the Child Care Director's Chair. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Child Care Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Child Care Director's Chair.